So I was just streaming last night, minding my own business, and as you can see, I have hickeys on my neck from a couple nights ago, and I thought, why not just stream? I was thinking of maybe wearing a turtleneck, but I thought it would be kind of fun and my viewers would get a good laugh, my loyal fans and my measly audience size of less than 200,000. But then OJ, the biggest Clash Royale YouTuber in the game with like 3 million subscribers, and by the way, a lot of OJ fans are my ops. Me and OJ have a little bit of ongoing beef. I'm kind of joking. But anyway, he decides to tweet out to everyone, bro mastered Hickey cycles. So now the whole world basically knows I got hickeys on my neck. And at first, I was a little bit uncomfortable with that fact. But then I just decided, you know what, I would accept it and play Hickey cycle in today's video and talk about the story of how this even came about. So it's going to be kind of a Ken style video. Bear with me, I'm going to do my best. I'm no Ken. I have no practice with this type of thing. I don't typically go to nightclubs. Pretty much you could say it was my first time ever going to one. I only recently turned 21. Well, it's been almost a year at this point, but it's fairly recent if you get what I mean. And I'm more of like a bar type of person, but one of my friends wanted to go to a nightclub with a couple other guys as well. So I decided to tag along because it wasn't too far away from where I was at, and it was pretty loud and crowded, probably the reasons why some people don't like them. It was very loud, and just like, it was so difficult to walk through people. It was crazy, just a bunch of people, acting crazy, like waving their hands, dancing, kind of what you would expect. Basically, though, what happened was one of my friends is Hispanic, right? So Spanish is basically his first language. He's fluent in English, though, obviously, which is why he's one of my good friends. But anyway, he started talking to some Latina girl, right? And I thought they were really hitting it off because they were talking for a while. I was just talking to one of the other guys. We were just vibing, listening to music. I only pretty much just had one beer at this point because I had to drive back, so I didn't want to I didn't want to overdo it. I know how I am. Like, I know I'm careful. I'm a responsible drinker. Do not drink and drive. I make sure when I'm driving that I only have one drink. That is what I make sure to do. And we want to be a good influence on the youth on this channel, right? So anyway, basically, after they were talking, well, they were talking for a bit, and I thought they were vibing. Like, I could overhear a bit they were talking in Spanish, but then basically my friend, right, he talks to me. He, stops talking to her, and basically he tells me that she thinks that I'm cute, basically. And that kind of surprised me because I thought that they were both into each other. So then I start talking to her, and her English is like, okay. I found out she's from Bolivia, and obviously, first language there's Spanish, and I don't really know, like, any Spanish. The only Spanish I know is from Duolingo, like, I know basic things. Like, for example, I know bonita and stuff, so, like, of course I had to say that, get the Spanish riz going. But anyway, like, el bano, like, basic stuff like that, biblioteca, like, some useless stuff you're never going to say anyway. But yeah, I mean, one thing led to another. We were vibing all right. She was from, Bolivia. She was just here, like, visiting family or whatever, right? And, yeah, we decided to go, and it's a pretty, like, long walk to my car. At one point, she wanted me to, like, pick her up and carry her, so I was, like, carrying her for, like, half of the walk on the way back to my car. I don't, typically do that type of thing, but I guess it's because, like, she's wearing heels, and it's probably, like, uncomfortable to walk. And then we were listening to Spanish music, basically, when I was, driving back. I, obviously don't listen to much Spanish music myself, but I do know Bad Bunny and Peso Pluma. I was asking her if she, vibed with those guys. She said she didn't really listen to them that much. She recommended some guy. It's a 4-letter name that starts with an F. It's like F-I-L-D or F-E-I-D or something. He had a decent amount of monthly listeners on Spotify. Those of you guys that speak Spanish probably know who I'm talking about. And I thought maybe she would want to watch like when we got back, like a movie, and basically, oh shoot, we're getting cooked here. Wanted to watch like a movie maybe in Spanish, and I do English subtitles, or like English and whatever. What am I trying to say? So, or like it's in English with Spanish subtitles so we could both understand it. But she just seemed to be really into music, which I guess kind of makes sense because I mean, if you're meeting someone at a nightclub, then they're probably going to be into music. I'm into music too, but like I guess to some extent, like not overkill. By the way, if you guys are wondering before I continue why this is Hickey Cycle, the witches, like you guys already know, they're basically like witches are basically like female vampires. Like they go crazy with the bites. The Valkyrie, she just seems a bit crazy. Diddy Cage, the pigs, I mean, it literally says here, they chomp on apples, they like to nibble, and then the bats, bro, it just goes without saying. And then the Lumberjack 2 is just kind of crazy, kind of like the Valkyrie. So that's the idea behind the deck. It would be cool if we could win a game with it, but it doesn't have a spell. But yeah, anyway, we were mostly just like listening to music, like one thing, like led to another. And then yeah, like I had like the hickeys, and what's crazy is when I woke up, I didn't even know, right? Maybe if you were like drinking a bit, because it's like when we got back, like we split a wine, so I like drank a bit more after besides just having the beer, but I just couldn't like even tell. Wait, what the heck? Why am I lagging? Yo, why am I lagging? This is like, oh my gosh, this might be like one of my craziest videos I've ever done. I don't know why I'm lagging, but anyway, what the heck? All right, I'm going to have to play one. I'm just going to let him win, and then I'm going to have to play one more after this. I don't know what is happening. But anyway, so, like, we split a wine, and I don't know if it's, like, when you're drinking and stuff, or, like, you're in the moment, you just don't fully understand what's going on. Because, bro, I didn't even know. Like, when I woke up the next day, that's when I realized, like, I had them, and I was like, oh, my God. And it's, like, a couple days ago, they way more, like, noticeable and even worse. So then it's like yesterday, bro, when I was hanging out with friends, like, I realized I had to wear, like, a turtleneck, basically, to cover it up. But even still, like, it's, like, some are visible. So, yeah, I mean, it was, like, a bit awkward. And the crazy thing is, too, she's, like, 25, right? So older than me. And a lot of people think that's kind of more of a young person thing. So that's why I'm wondering, like, I don't know, man, are these Bolivian women just about that or something? Because, I mean, look, like, I thought it was mostly like a young person thing. And I was thinking of like asking, my mom or someone for like concealer or whatever to like, cover it up. Like I don't have it clearly because I don't wear makeup. Like I was thinking of asking my mom or like one of my friends, like girls that I'm friends with, or something. But like, I just, like, I don't know. I didn't know how to do it. And I just figured, I'll just deal with it. But I'm starting to think after the whole, like, OJ tweet and everything came to light, maybe it would have been a little bit of a better idea to actually wear concealer and cover it up. I thought it would just be a little bit of a inside joke with my audience, but, no, I guess kind of the whole, world, now knows about it. So I figured I would, talk about kind of the story, not going into, like, all the details, but anyway, it looks like we might actually be able to win this one, which is pretty cool. Oh, I forgot he had the tornado. I mean, of course he does. Why wouldn't he have a tornado? This, like honestly, this pisses me off. Like, why, dude? It's like, I finally thought I would win, and then I'm done, bro. I'm done. Like, I'm not gonna, like, whatever, man. I mean, this deck is crap anyway, so I don't care. But yeah, that's basically what happened. OJ exposing me to everyone. So, yeah, I decided to own it like a man. And going forward, I'm probably going to wear concealer if it happens again, but I don't think it will. See ya.